Hello all. So I will talk about the concept of Boolean and organized mash. And when you do Boolean, you need to read topology of geometry all the time. It's kind of requirement for it. So now, always a good idea to turn on a display polycount. So it's under display, heads up display, and polycount. And now let's take a look at this. If you started with the when we wanted to use Boolean, is mean when we wanted to combine and maintain the surface overlap. If there's not much overlap into different kind of a different contour, if it flat contour, if you remember, we did just only combine delete face, so that it's both of two objects has open face, and then we use a pen to polygon tool. And you still can use Boolean with flat surface also, that would be easier. um, Now with this model, this will be a kind of cross objects. So first of all, when you do is you need to kind of try to manually match the subdivision so that you have less work to do when you try to retopology it. And if you look at this object, so if I control one, sorry, show isolate select and view selected only, so control one. So I'm gonna control one again, select control one. Here we go. So what I'm showing you is these three objects. I just match only the line here. Can you see? Try to make the numbers of the section close or equal to as much as possible. Now when I do Boolean Union, and then I use a after Boolean, so basically let me switch to modeling module, mash Boolean Union, and then we're going to use cleanup. So cleanup with face more than four sides. So, and this is what we got. And can you see, if I don't line up well, Maya will add extra division. It's just because if you look at right here, see, this is a little offset there. Now stuff like this, sometimes we can't prevent it. It's just because of the nature of the shape. If they are exactly same size, it will be easier. But because they are not same size, or three of them, and this based on the reference that we have. So let's see this. Can you see? It's overlapping. These are larger, on the side are smaller, and then taper. So, and the body is straight line. So that's why these occur. So when you do basically what I'm trying to do, what I did is I tried to line up close enough. So now when we get to this point though, we need to delete some section. There will be some section that we cannot divide it. Like for example, if I delete this section here, and if I, let's say if I'm not deleting it, but if I add more span right there, so these are, I create a 12 side, so it will be 13, which is will kind of destroy the circular look of the geometry. So in this case, what I would try to do is I try to add another loop there so that I can stop continuity. But okay, let's take a look at more. So this section, I did subdivide this so that it's kind of match on here. Can you see? So I have better topology there to start with, and then I'm gonna have to make some adjustment. And now we will talk a little bit more on this area. So now the last one, I subdivide to protect this area, or fencing, or you create a border to stop continuity of whatever Maya will trying to do. So basically try to subdivide it, and this is the outcome. Can you see a little nicer, cleaner? And then we're gonna have to come in here and then try to re-topology this, and that's what we're gonna have to do. Okay, so that's the concept of it. And so if it complex geometry, you wanted to create a fencing using fencing technique or border technique, or you can call, I mean, it can be called any name, like stop continuity and so on. So now we're gonna try to do together with the actual with the reference. Okay. So we're gonna reopen from what we left off from last section. So we're gonna start it from here. Okay. And I'm gonna go to font view. You can reference this so that you don't have to see it, and I just leave it there to just as a guideline. So we're gonna create a new cylindrical, and you can use poly modeling tab, cylindrical, and we're gonna sync this cylindrical, and try not to move left and right. I am on font view right now. Just move up and down because everything are centered to the X and Z axis. So I'm gonna move it around here, and I'm gonna make the height a little longer and something like that. Let me move it down a little bit, and then I'm gonna create radius. It's about big enough. You might have to press 4 to switch to wireframe mode, and here we go. It's about right. Might be a little smaller or a little larger. It's fine. And I think I'm gonna, just to be safe, make it taller. Move it down a little bit because we're gonna extrude them and do more detail on that. Okay. And let's save this scene as, and mine's gonna be 4 now. Okay. Well, before we move on, let me show you the finish. Here we go. So this is how it look. Let me press 1. Okay. So is 16 and this is 12. And how do I come up with that resolution? First of all, I just try to match the edge loop. That's it. The body is 18, is similar to the cap, because cap is also, we started with 18, right? And this is a single object. So basically we create only this section, and then we duplicate spatial so that is rotate around, and then we merge the surface and so on. We will do that together next week. So this week we're gonna finish only mainly just only from here to there. Nope, sorry. So from this section basically, and we don't do detail yet. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to, let's continue it again. Okay, so now I'm gonna create another, oh wait, we need to change the exits to 16. And now for the division cap, let's put it 0 at this moment because we don't want it. We don't care about that part yet. Okay. And put a 0. And now I'm gonna create a new cylindrical, and this time I'm gonna rotate so that the top part are perpendicular to the front view. Now I can see I can type 90 on my rotate X, and I'm gonna move in location. I'm gonna use front view to take a look. So I'm gonna move right around there. There we go. And turn off cap temporarily. Okay. And we'll see how many we needed. So right now let's increase the radius. So it's a little larger. It's kind of like that. Here we go. So quite large. And then the height longer. So that kind of really big. There we go. All right. So this 16 now can we see is 20, right? So little, see, a little narrower. So let's try to reduce to 18. I'm gonna just use middle mouse drag. Now 18 would not work because see the line, straight line are not there. Let me turn off the cap. So have to come down 16. Now this is 16, but because it's so large, so it's has that, it's offset, so probably 18. Oops, sorry. 18. No, I can't do 18. How about 20? 20 is make more sense on this because these are bigger than the one that I show you on the concept. So it looked like this. So can you see it's close enough right there? And what if I reduce or increase the radius? See, if I think if I increase a little bit more, it looks better. Can you see that one? This one a little off. It's okay because we're gonna have another sphere, another cylindrical coming in. Okay, so I think now let's make this section taller because it might be too close. We need to have it a little longer, just about enough space to work with. Okay, so now create another cylinder, and this cylinder will rotate sideways like this. So mine's on rotate X, Z 90, and we're gonna move it up. So it's slightly bigger than the reference. It's just slightly, because it's gonna be taper, right? So we will taper it down, and those are gonna be just the base. It's a little off. It's okay. So now I am accidentally move on translate X. Gotta put 0 back because I want the 0 to be on the center, and we're gonna turn off cap again, so that's a little easier. And the height, which is the length, I'm gonna make it longer, and I have rotate 90. Here we go. Make a little mistake there, and I'm probably gonna have to move on y-axis a little higher. Here we go. It's like center there. Radius, increase it, and can you see that the base? So the base is right around there. So I'm gonna try to make it taller. Here we go. And look like this. So this is the font. Can you see positive Z? Here we go. And now let's reduce the size of the subdivision. So we want that line to be there and here. So horizontal and vertical need to be there. So right now 16, the 12 is better. Can you see? That's so now I can see that we might have to sacrifice this section a little bit, because based on the, can you see right there, the shape is look like that. It seems like it has a little narrow here, but I don't want to scale it. It's look like this. It seems like it's squeezing in like that, just a bit tap. But then if I do that, these will be oval shape. I don't think it's an oval. See, that is really circle, but it seems like that part is a little tall. It is like oval on the base and then circular to the font. We can actually do something like this. I'm gonna undo. We could insert subdivision, like stop the division right there, and then we squeeze like squeeze sideways on that on this geometry. Like for example, if I do multi-cut, oops, sorry. So edit match to, you can do insert edge loop. Let's do insert edge loop, and then just loop really close there, and then another one. Now on the back we don't really need it, right? So I think this is what we should do. Let me undo quick. I don't want to modify the section yet, so I'm gonna move that right in here. Bye. So look like this. Let's move it until it hit to right there. Here we go. I think this is actually better. It's a little off there. You see that? A little off. So I'm gonna cut using hold on, let me, here we go. So use insert edge loop and just stop right there. We stop continuity again. Here we go. So just like really close, and then from here though we can select faces here, and then we gonna scale non-uniformly like that, so that it kind of fit. Here we go. And just remember, it looks a little tapered to the back side, right? And then but when we do more detail, it's actually tapered down from to the font. So if I grab this surface and I uniformly scale, look like this, right? And then if I move it, it's gonna look like that, right? Based on the oh guys, when I build, I make a mistake. Can you see? I put it on the back side. Okay, so well, I am not going to re-record it. What I need to do is I'm gonna just have to rotate it. So I'm gonna press if I rotate 180 degree right here, so this is minus, so I'm gonna be minus 80, would look like this, and then I'm gonna just move. Okay, so turn on move to, and then I'm gonna move and make that line a match right there. Here we go. A little off is okay actually, but here we go. So look like this. We prep them. Okay, so now let's do the same on here. We're gonna have to prep it, and just insert edge loop tool. See, they already match. It's quite nice actually. Hold on, this is a little too big. I'm gonna have to change the radius. Let's do 3.3. That's too much. 3.35. Here we go. that's too much. Can you see it's too off? And how about 3.8? Oh, 3.2. Oh, sorry, 3.32. Almost 3.31. Wow, 3.29. Still, can you see it's shrink a little bit? And this is no. Now this section is off, like way off. I don't like that. Why this section is so way off from the back? Let me go back to, let's try 4, no, 3.5. So it's just like we have to kind of keep muscling, keep dealing with this little by little. I think, see, it's still off a lot. And I think it's okay. So we're gonna stop continuity. So insert edge loop, stop right there, make sure don't overlap there. And once again, we're gonna build. Right now I'm gonna just show you how to arrange them. So now when we build left and right, they are exactly same. So there's no reason try to build two sides together. And that one is off a lot after I scale it, but this will stop continuity. So see, that section will stop continuity, which is okay. So I think, and let me just loop that. Here we go. So now we gotta figure it out on the vertical shape, because it's need to have edge loop there. So let's do insert edge loop again. So edit, insert edge loop. So that will be one loop there and another loop here, and actually one more there, right there. But I'm gonna, no, not but, sorry, just make it close enough. Actually on this one we can do, how about like that? Here we go. So start it from the bottom, one there, okay, and another one there, and then one more. So it stopped continuity. And then now we want that to match as much as possible. Here we go. And if it's a little off, it's okay, because this shape is so complex. So now I'm gonna split in half because I want it to work in half later. So using a mesh tool, multi-cut, let's cut this center so that we can delete that side later. And selection tool, go to object mode, select that. Yep. Multi-cut. Here we go. Cut. Right there. Just try to use the main command first for this week, okay? So that you are really familiar where the tool is. And then next week we will use shortcut. Now what about this? Well, we don't really care much, right, on this section, because later on we're gonna delete them. It's easier. So right now this is good, and there's a bunch of splitting happening, so we need to clean this. Select all, edit, delete by type, history, and I want you to fix transformation, fix it, so that eliminate unwanted deformation later. So we're gonna select all. Let me save. And now After I save, it's just because it's gonna be major change here. So I'm gonna save as, and then I'm gonna put version 4a. So just in case, if we boolean, we do something and we make a mistake, we can go back to the one that is not we're not boolean yet. Okay, so now we ready. So go to edit match Boolean Union. Here we go. And then we're gonna have to use a cleanup to help. But before we use cleanup to help, we can build only one side. Just make sure you don't touch this half circle. Like for example, I can delete like this. There we go. And hit delete. See, we delete half of it. That one, delete. So I like to build from the right side. So it look like this. And actually these we can delete it too because we don't need at the moment, right? Right there. We don't really need it now. Okay. And hit delete. It look like this. So that saved a little more time. So now go to object mode and mash, cleanup, open up option, then choose face with more than 4 sides, and operations, cleanup, matching polygons, cleanup. Now it look like this. So at this moment we're gonna have to make it clean, that's all. Okay, so we could modify any line here but not this line, like here, like all the way here. I'm gonna have to use selection continuous. So we cannot modify those lines, we cannot move them around. Same here, this line, that's why we put that stop continuity or fencing technique. Okay, now this section we could modify. Okay, so now we have to figure it out. How can we make this clean? So first of all, these lines are perfect, but zoom in, there is something going on there. See a little line there because this has been split, so we need to clean it. And now it's because it's so close. When you look at, these are the original corner, so it means I can get rid of that line. Here we go. And that one too. So I'm gonna use edit mask, delete edge and vertex. Here we go. So now if we count, still 4 corner, so that's good. So let's check this side too because it has the same problem. So check the original angle. This is the original angle, so we can get rid of that. Edit. Here we go. And now we can see that this section, see that lines are projecting straight line from the original. However, because this is going to be a base right there, we could get rid of this center and let it shift, but maintain that corner. Can you see, maintain that corner? So this is what I'm gonna do. Gonna select like this, including that one. All right, because we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then edit mask, delete edge and vertex. Here we go. So now let's check this. So once again, we want to keep this. We don't need that section here too. Here we go. So once again, what I am looking at it, I am looking at on straight line on this section. Now that has shifted a little, but it's just because of the base, so it's okay. So now once again, these can be 4 corner, these can be 4 too. Can you see that? And that can be 4 too. So I'm gonna delete. Here we go. So now, that's not right. But we can go here instead. So this one will shift a bit. Oop. And it match. Delete. Here we go. So now there's another line there. There's a bunch of lines. So look at the original. The original must be that one. It's just because see the trajectory on like 4 intersection of the 4, so that can go away. Oh, so this is loop in together, so I'm gonna delete that instead, that one and this one. So select that and this and delete it. Here we go. So now see, it's maintained. That's good. So now I am missing somehow. I need that to be there instead. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to do multi-cut. Oh, by the way, under poly modeling, there's poly modeling. There's a multi-cut tool right here. So I gonna actually no, I was right. So we just need to delete this line. And what about that one? We will need to connect them. So select that one also. And edit mesh, delete. Here we go. So now we need to connect this back. Here we go. So, and now let's do on this section. Let's finish this section. And now once again, that slide is a little shift, but we have discontinuity there. You can press 3 to see how it look. Right now it's look a little messy. We gotta clean it first. So, and this section, I would let them close right here. Let them close right here. So I will get rid of this one. And that one will have to come down closer. So basically I also gonna get rid of this and mesh, delete, and delete. Here we go. So now I could see a little off there. I could connect that to here, or I can get rid of this section and then there. Delete. Here we go. And now I have to join that to here. You could do like this. Let's delete it first. So I'm gonna get rid of this line. Using selection tool might be safer. Here we go. Can you see? And then we're gonna reconnect to the basically what I need is let me delete this quick. Mesh, delete, and now we're gonna connect that to here. And so this is not the final, because later on we have to relay out this all the way up. Right now we just wanted to make it clean as much as possible. So now select that and delete. Here we go. It look like this at the moment. There's 3 corners there that we need to change. So right now I think these lines are straight really nicely. So basically we're gonna join this section. Now you could use vertex here and select that vertex, and we can merge this. So to merge, you edit merge, open up option. By default, let me reset. By default it's 0.01 threshold unit. So let's try apply. It's merged, so it means that's within 0.01. Okay, so now check the shape. Actually, these, you know what? That's okay, because we're gonna have to change the action later. So now, same here. I'm gonna move these vertices close to there. Now there's another tool here. Let me close this. If you click on this button, Modeling Toolkit, and there's a more detail on here, I will explain that in the future. But right now, look at on that. If you turn on target wheel, and if you on vertices, you can click and hold. Let me zoom in really close so that you can see it. So you can do like this, click and hold and let it wheel. So now the bottom end here is kind of clean. Let's check on this section. Now this can be, let's switch to Q. Here we go. That can be four corner. Edit. Here we go. And we're gonna go back there later. And now let's take a look at this section. So that can be four. Here we go. Now this section, that's the original line that come to here. So let's use that. So on this section, even though it's follow the contour, but because it's on the join, like conjunctions of it, so we could kind of, you know, compensate it. So right now, let's take a look at this section first. There's a bunch of this. We can make it full corner. Let's use target wheel again this time. So instead of delete, we can right click, choose vertex, and turn on target wheel. Click and drag that and close it. How about this one? I'm gonna, here we go. So now I think that's good. So this section, even though there's straight line from the vertical one, but because we wanted to maintain that line, so I'm gonna merge there, and here we go, and this one. So it's shifting a little bit. That's okay. That's why we have a this section for stop discontinuity. So now these, because we need to maintain that straight line from here, right? Because we kind of want to maintain that circular as much as we could. So what we can do is we can shift this a little bit right there. So let me grab that, snap to here, there, there, and this one we're gonna let it go because we're gonna have to come back and fix it again. So now look at here, and hey guys, if when you do Boolean and clean up, you might be slightly bit offset than mine or different, just a bit. What you need to focus is you focus on the contour of it, like focus on the edge loop. Try to match edge loop as mine, like this. Here we go. Okay. And now if I press 3, this section should be looking okay. Can you see? It should look okay. Oh, I'm missing one. Press 1 back. So there's a splitting here. So I'm gonna use merge vertices. Oh, here we go. I have that face there. I think because of the target wheel caused that. See, that is a edge face with zero length. So let's try to clean up again. So use a mesh cleanup if you get that problem, and this time we can leave that on, and edge with 0 length. Here we go, and see if it fixes. Nope, it's not fixing. So what we could do is we could just merge vertices. So now there's two vertices on there. Let me check if it's two. So there's a 2 in here. Can you see? There's 2. So edit, merge, apply. Now it's become 1. So let's check. It's gone. So that's good. So now this section, let's go to object mode. It just edge just need to be clean, that's all. So I'm gonna clean this, select that and delete. Here we go. So nice and clean. There's a this is a 4 corner. If I grab the vertices here, 1 there, and if I move straight up, so I'm kind of relaxing a little bit. Here we go. And this is this can be fixed. We're gonna have to fix on that, but not now. Let's clean everything first. Let's clean the one there using selection tool here, and these are straight line here, but this is the way it cuts, so we're gonna compensate it to that line. So let's delete this first. Here we go. Save your file just in case. Okay, so now it's actually the circular shape is right here, so we should get rid of this line. Here we go. And now on this section, because it's so close to each other, we don't have to eliminate the line manually. We could just merge vertices, select those. So 2 vertices there. Let me switch to 4 so that I don't select the other component, and merge. See, I turn this merge. So now when I press 5, so I can get rid of this line because it's triangle. When I get rid of it, it's become 4. So now same here. These are the original line from this tube. So it's mean when I cut the line, when I split that line, it's not good. So what I need to do is in this case, we want to maintain the line there. So the vertex, we want it to stay as is. So we're going to use target wheel using a vertex. So basically I'm going to wheeling 1, 2, and then there. Here we go. So, and then we can get rid of this triangle, because when you count 1, 2, 3, 4, that triangle is subdivide, half division of the quad. So now, here we go, almost there. And this section, I could see that that's the original line again, right? From that tube, this side tube. So I'm gonna use target wheel, and I'm gonna, switch to vertex is important. Wheel it, and we want that to be there. Here we go. And right click and check vertex face, see if there's a edge, face between or not. If it's not, perfect. So now I can get rid of this and that, because 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Delete it. Here we go. So it's nice and clean at the moment. Now what about this? Once again, this trajectory is from the main tube, so we're gonna kind of, actually based on this look, we have to check which one is more important. If I move to that original line, this is going to be a little crooked, because can you see right here, this level and that level? Hold on. I think because I altered that section a little, well, it should be okay. It shouldn't be that much because we have that stop continuity there, and then we can actually move the stop continuity or the fencing a little closer too. So in this case, I'm gonna just use the main tube trajectory. So I'm gonna use, this trajectory. So right click and choose vertex target wheel. I'm gonna weld it and weld this closer. Here we go. So select that, select this, and I'm gonna delete. Here we go. I hope that it makes sense to you guys. It could be really confusing at first. So now when I press 3, can you see it blending really nicely? Now there's a triangle. The triangle will kind of distort the curvature a little bit. We can fix that. So now let's make this look even better. I could see that I can eliminate the triangle there. So now let's select this. Under edit mesh, there is a spinned edge backward and forward. Let me tear this off so that it show up right here. Let me close that one. So what it does is I can test spinning. So spin backward. See, go to kind of clockwise. This is counterclockwise. So now I can spin it, and that gives me a good four corner and run to that loop. So it means I can eliminate this line now. It's unnecessary. So I go to edit mesh, delete. Here we go. And I personally use spinning a lot. Now what about this? Well, if I spin it again, here we go, and I can eliminate this guy too. Here we go. So, oh shoot, accidental. Here we go. So now it's really important that you clean up first before you started to go deep into retopology, so that the poly loop or the edge loop are better. So now what I can do this is I can kind of reorganize the curve, the lines much better. So I'm going to use multi-cut to kind of cut. Here we go. And right there. So I kind of try to follow the contour, and now I'm gonna hold I'm gonna hold shift so that I can hold shift, click, so that 50%. I mean, I just want that flow to be a little nicer right there. That's it. So now once again, guys, these may change if I delete it. Let's see. I delete. It might change. Can you see it changed the straight line? Well, like I said, we're gonna move this down even closer, like just only this edge. Here we go. To stop continuity, and then we're gonna extend more surface later. So now on the top, almost good, right here. So it means it has to loop around some point. So in this case, if I spin, I will not get anything good out of it. Can you see? Because it's already has a really nice. Oh wait, well, probably have to add more section. After I spin, I can see the detail now. So I spin it, it's touched there. I'm gonna get rid of this line again. Here we go. So now I could add another loop there later, not now. So now I gotta figure it out here. I think these are too high. Because this is what I'm gonna do later. I'm gonna trying to get these to be full corner, and basically I want it to loop around like this. Oops, somehow. Can you see? Like that. And now this one can be touched here. I could see, but I'm not going to do that one yet. Here we go. So it's look like this, right? So now this has to be changing direction. So I'm gonna grab this down, put a straight line. Here we go. And these are straight. That's good. So I think this might be better if you do like that. And now this, let me think. So if I eliminate that line, here we go. So it's not bad. I can move this down a little bit. And it would be nice if they kind of a little, oops. If it does look like this, would be better. Can you see? But we can't move that. We're gonna have to let go for now. And let's press 3, see how it looks. It's not too bad. So let's keep it. So 1, look like that. So now, right here, 3 corner, we need to make it 4. So I could see this how it go. Can you see right there? If we just cut like this, and this guy can go away. So here we go. So now it's 4, but if I press 3, this is look okay actually. It doesn't look that bad at all. So press 1, as long as it's 4 corner. So now these section are so similar to the top, and when you think about it, it's symmetrical, top and bottom, right? So why do we have to do more work? Let's do this. Get rid of this face. Here we go. And we're gonna mirror this down. So now I think we're almost done, because we don't have to do too much work, because top and bottom, based on the image, they are almost symmetrical. So we can make it symmetrical, and then the bottom just has more detail later on. And so now let's turn on move to, and that's the pivot point, because we built everything up from the center, right? So now under mesh there is mirror geometry. I'm gonna open up option. Let me press 5. Oops, I move it by accident. Okay, so if I look at on the front view, cut geometry, need to turn on. Now mirror axis position, right now it's on positive X. Can you see? Let's save first. And now it's a time to save scene as. So we have more version. Will be B. Hold on. Actually, let me undo quick. Undo before I delete it. I want to save this into one version. Just to be safe. I'm gonna, okay. Save this still 4A, and then now I'm gonna save as to 4B. And 4B I'm gonna cut. And this way we have more file to fall back. So now I'm gonna delete face, just only bottom half. Here we go. Okay, and make sure don't delete more than what you need. So now go to object mode, open up a mesh mirror. Okay, and mirror, when we look at on the front view, let's take a look at on front view. Okay, and before we mirror it, let's turn on display, polygon, and border edges, border edge, so that we can see the thickness of the open border. This will help us to identify if two borders are on top of each other but not close, not merged basically. So now let me reset this. Workspace, it will use the workspace. So if I mirror x positive to negative workspace and merge border vertex, combine with original, we want to combine, and then merge. Let's try merge. It will not work well. Here we go. The reason is this. Can you see it merged? But it did something to our topology. The reason that it does this because, let me undo, is open border. Mirror work best with only one border, but this has more than one. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the back, 5 on the side. So that's why it gets so confusing. So in this case, we're gonna switch to do not merge, and we're gonna manually merge. Now with the workspace, let me turn on move to again. Okay, because we merge on x and it use x position on 0, and it does disregard of y and z. Just look at on the position 0 offset on the x, and it does on the 0. If you remember on the move to with its transform, but see is the x is on 0. This is the x, see x, so 0x is this line on top view, and z, the line is right here, and y, the line is on this line. That's y. Okay, and y center is right down there. Okay, so there will be the time that you use workspace doesn't work. So now I'm gonna do without border, so it's gonna mirror to the other side, right, like this. Now can you see the border still open? It's still open, so we had to merge it. However, I can undo on this because we wanted to mirror the bottom, and then we're gonna mirror to the other side later. So let's use y-axis. Now y-axis, if we use workspace, this is object space. Workspace is right there. Oop, here we go, right there. Let me maximize it. See right there. So now I'm gonna use y and see what happened. Look, because it used that word asset. So undo. Now, what about the object space? So if I switch to object space and y, remember this pivot point is the object space. If I click apply, can you see it used that? So undo. So now how do we fix this? There's a few ways. There's also a bounding box. Now what if you don't want to use bounding box? If you want to use object, what you need to do is you just need to change pivot point. That's all. Press D, and then you just hold V key so that, and constrain only y-axis. Let's see when I constrain y-axis what it does. So watch it. So press V key on front view because I wanted to use that point, like the back side, this point on the bottom, but I constrain it so you are not allowed this to snap right on X or Z, but it's only Y direction. So that's what it does. Now if I undo quick, if I don't hold any X, if I don't constrain, if I hold V key again and I grab the center, it will snap. Can you see it's snap it to the real vertex? So this is the technique. So you grab constrain only Y, so now it's right there. Press D, and if you use object space, this time it should work. See right there. Okay, so let me undo quick. so that you know when to use, what to use later. So what if you don't want to do anything? You can try bounding box. And bounding box basically it use the calculation in 3D geometry in the 3D world or 2D world 2D space too. If it 2D is going to be only y and x bounding box. If it 3D will be x, y, z, it's just because 3 dimension. So what it does is it draw the box, and the box that has to touch the taller edge from top and bottom, and side, left and right, and then front and back. That's what the bounding box is. So now the bounding box, when we choose, if we choose y, the y-axis of the geometry is 1 to here. Can you see that's the y-axis? X-axis is from here to there. Z-axis is from here to there. That's the bounding box. So the bounding box will work. Here we go. So we'll touch. So now what we need to do is, can you see, because we turn on border edges. If you don't have border edges, you go back to match, display, polygon, and border edges. If I toggle off, see it's gone, but there is a border right there. So I have to turn it on so that I can identify that. And visually will help you. So now we need to merge vertices. And we can do really quickly by select a batch of this, because there are multiple vertices, so 12, so basically it's 11 vertices there. So pair, each pair, so times 2. So now I'm gonna go to edit mesh, merge, and not extrude, edit mesh, merge, and use low setting. The reason is because these two might be too close. Let's see. Oh, perfect. Now, this section is mean wider than point average within 0.01. So it's not difficult. You're gonna have to reselect just only that part. You can't keep multiply the merge. You have to reselect to different set. Otherwise, it's gonna use the same setting on the first set. So now I got to increase this. How about 0.02? Here we go. Okay. So now we can mirror to the other side. So match, mirror, geometry, just mirror option. And we're going to use bounding box, and we already know that is going to be x. This is positive x. And once again, we have to do not merge. We have to merge manually. Is the reason is like as I explained, because there's more than one border. So because this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 on the side, 5 on the side, on the center. So click apply. Here we go. So I use bounding box, and then select vertices. So it's on the center. Now this has to be careful again because some of these might be too close. Now click mesh, edit mesh, merge, and apply. Oop. Here we go. So this time good, 0.02, and that's it. So at this moment, we're gonna have to edit the top and the bottom and all of this. We can close hole temporarily. So let's delete history before. See, it's a long step. Save again, and edit, delete by type, history. Okay, and then now let's close hole. So mesh, fill hole. Here we go, temporary, so that we can select this face, move up and down, or extrude or something like that later. So basically these two section, I forgot, it will need to taper down a little bit. So you can taper on the side like this, switch to 4 so that you can see. So you grab only, this will disable X, so you will constrain, X plane will constrain on the X, Z and Y. So it's like this. Here we go. Actually, this guy, is that small? I don't, hold on. I might be incorrect. Here we go. Oh, I can see based on this is so big. Can you see it is? Oh, nope. This is, that's the size. It's just because this is drawing is a cut drawing, so it's kind of a little confusing. But now I think I am positioned. Let me check on the font, see if it's correct size to the font. Yeah, the font is good. So it's just that drawing, the side view. So ignore that side view. Just focus on the font. I mean, in terms of size. Let me turn this off. Here we go. So I think that's good. And if this section, you can actually shrink it down to, here we go. So better to shrink both. Otherwise, you have to cut them again. And I'm gonna scale from the side view, but I look at here we go. I want it to be tapered like that. Same as the font. Here we go. I could do even like this, so that has a little, and I scale uniformly. Can you see it? So that it has a little curved look. I think that's better. And now let me check. Actually, these vertices, oh my bad, select that vertices, and you can select left and right, and then you scale to shrink it. Here we go. Now I'm gonna have to do again with this section. And oh, this time I have to scale down like that. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. Let's see if it all four corner. Oh, hey guys, if you don't want to see the if the oh, one more thing. When you scale this, make sure, like if you're gonna scale the face here, make sure you maintain circular. So it means you cannot do like this and that. You have to make sure that you either scale uniformly, all three axes together, okay, or you use plane, scale plane to axis in the font, something like that. Here we go. So, and I feel like, let's press 3, see how it look. Here we go. It's gonna look a little awkward because right now we didn't subdivide them yet. So here we go. And that's it. And then we come back and continue to finish this. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to take a snapshot. Let's go to 5. Turn on wireframe on shade and uncheck grid. And then you do screen capture this and submit. Here we are. Here we go. Oh guys, if you control spacebar, you go to expert mode. And now you can do screen capture. Just use snip tool. Snipping tool. And new, and then I'm gonna just drag like this, and you're gonna submit this. I'm gonna save this as, and I'm gonna call number 2 image progress. Okay, and I'm gonna call body cap. Oh no, hydrant body JPEG 01, because later on we will have 02. Okay, and then you're gonna post these on D2L. That's it. That's it for today video. And good luck guys. Enjoy weekend.